So what do you think about when you think about the words luxury packaging? Do you have a specific image in your mind, or is it something that you've never seen before and can't ever find? Well, being in the packaging industry myself, when you tell me you're looking for a luxury packaging, I have no idea what you're referring to because the options are so endless. So the first thing we got to do is discuss what are the key terms that you can use when you're doing a search to find the thing that you want the most for your products. So stick around and let's talk packaging. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, my name is Sarah and I've been in the packaging industry for like 25 years. We run our blog, howtobuypackaging.com. We started in 2008. We also own ViCiPack. It's our trademark, and where we sell luxury premium folding carton packaging for the luxury brands out there. And we also specialize in short run digital printing and long run high-end stuff all the time. So anyway, stick around if you want to learn more about packaging, and especially in the luxury department. Finding the right packaging for your luxury goods can be difficult when you don't know the key terms. So one of the reasons for that is because there is no, how can you say, there is no symbiotic words across the packaging industry that everybody agrees to the thing that they're going to call it. So we have a variety of different names we call luxury packaging, and that's kind of fair because the materials vary so much. You can't really just name it any one thing, otherwise it will represent the thing that you're looking for, if that makes any sense. So I asked ChatGPT if it knew what a rigid box was, because a lot of times people are expecting a rigid box, and if you don't know what that means at this point, that's okay, because we're going to discuss that. But I asked it if it knew what it meant and what are the key terms that people are most likely to type in to the search bar, and or what are the industry terms people are saying that that's what a rigid box is from the manufacturer's end, because I didn't think that it would understand what I was asking it to do, but it actually did okay. So this is both a combination of what people are typing into search to find luxury packaging, and or what the manufacturers are calling it to be found for luxury packaging to find the right customers. So let's go. The first one is setup boxes. And this is historically probably the most well-known if you're in the industry as a packaging buyer or a seller. It's a setup box. It's a box that's been set up. Essentially, it's not folded down, it's already set up and it ships empty. Another one is a luxury gift box, which to me is super vague, but more on that later. Premium packaging box. Again, to me, that conveys a lot of vagueness in there because this premium is just another word for luxury. Let's go. Hard box. Okay, a hard box is a little bit more descriptive because it does tell me that it is a rigid material and it's not a folding board. The next one is magnetic closure box or magnetic rigid box. So this is pretty specific. It means that you want the box to have the magnets on them because not every rigid box has magnets. So that's a cool factor to know. The next one is a presentation box. And again, presentation box, I'm thinking it could be a corrugated material, which is not rigid. A next one is a keepsake box, which to me that sounds a little bit more crafty, because essentially a rigid box, when it comes inside of a product packaging, it means that the customer is going to keep it anyway. So it's not really a point of saying it's a keepsake box. The next words he put together was a drawer box or a slide box. That's descriptive and it's a style of the box, but again, it doesn't really necessarily mean a rigid box. A high-end box packaging, super vague, and a rigid setup box. Now those are specific because it is telling me that it's a rigid box, it's thick, it's hard, and it doesn't bend or fold or anything like that. So if you're using any other words or terms that I just didn't list, you are probably having a really hard time finding a really elegant rigid box for your products to sell in the marketplace. And you might want to reconsider your search terms. So now knowing this, what is a rigid box? I'll briefly tell you. It's basically a hard box with multiple layers, and the outer side is printed. And usually it comes in two pieces, or it's one major piece, and it might have like a fold over, or it might be that drawer box where it has a tray and a sleeve and it just pulls out and pulls in. But either way, it's a rigid box. It's a hard box. It's sturdy, and you can't fold it down. Although the Chinese have developed a rigid box that is foldable, but those aren't made in the US or anything like that. So that kind of blew that can't fold down out of the water, because now they can fold down essentially. But usually that means that they're 2 or 3 ply material. That means that it's covered in an outer wrap with the graphics, and the inside is rigid and is usually hidden. You don't ever see the material that's on the inside. So the outside material is laminated to the thicker material, and it's set up and it's shipped, set up empty a lot of times to the fulfillment facility. I suppose I'm confessing that I think luxury packaging does mean rigid boxes, but people don't type in the search term rigid box. So I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at here today, people. But if you're looking for luxury packaging, it usually comes in a rigid box because it conveys, the materials are thick, it's pretty much overly packed. It's also well protected in transit because it has so much material around it. And it is also a more expensive type of packaging to invest in because it has so many layers and processes to consider. Now, the rigid box, primarily, a lot of it that we see in the marketplace today does come from overseas. And even if you see it in stock, just plain, all of those are probably produced overseas, or even down south if you're in the United States, here in Mexico, because it's laborious. It can be highly laborious for factories if they don't have the proper machineries. And so if you just want like 100 or 300, it's going to cost you like $10,000 to acquire this luxury packaging. But when you see them at the store, you're like, they're only $1 or $2. That's not that big of a deal. Yeah, but they made them in hundreds of thousands of units at a time, not 100 or 300. In conclusion, if you're looking for luxury packaging and it is the rigid box styles, you can review the box styles actually on our professional blog. It's called howtobuypackaging.com, and just search rigid boxes and it'll give you a gallery and several articles all about rigid boxes. But anyway, type into the search bar rigid boxes to find the thing that you're looking for. And if you have any problems or trouble, reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you. If you enjoyed this content, you might enjoy the other videos in this playlist. This is our new podcast, and we'll be talking all about luxury packaging in particular, as it's an elusive material, an elusive matter that not a lot of people talk about. So stick around and I hope you enjoy.